So Steve Borthwick has announced his England team early once again. I think that's to give players more time to get used to that they're playing or not playing. So I think that's a good idea, although on the official email it did say it would be on Thursday. But people like us are less important, and if it helps the players, then fair enough. Welcome to this video supported by the Sports News Blitz. And it is exactly the same 15 with a little tweak though. Interesting, we see Henry Slade in the 12 shirt and Ollie Lawrence in the 13 shirt. Now, that may mean nothing at all if they line up the same way. It doesn't mean you have to stay in that position, of course. But Slade has been defending at 13 and 12 for Ollie Lawrence for quite a while now. So if they were going to change around their defensive duties, if you make a mistake in defence, it can be absolutely critical. So that's what I'm going to be watching for there. But that's an interesting one. Slade has played in the 12 shirt before. And I think if Slade uses the ball a bit more, spreads it a bit wider, which is what he's there for, then fair enough in attack at 12. He's not there to make breaks. He can't really do that. He's not there to make massive hits in defence. He's there because he's got the skills of a 10 playing in the centre. So if they're going to use him more like that and use Ollie Lawrence more like they do for Bath, it could work, so why not? Let's give it a go. Now, I didn't expect any changes to the starting 15 because the front row did their job. They scrummaged well. Sure, Ellis Genge got in a couple of difficult positions in defence, but that can happen. I think he did make some poor decisions, but still, many props would have struggled. Atoje and Martin did well in the second row. Now, in the back row, the 6-2 split made it pretty weird. We had Ben Curry coming on for Tom Curry, but then Ben Curry went to blindside for a bit. Then we had Dombrandt coming on at number 8. And then at the end of it, we actually had Ezekwe on the blind side or on one of the flanks, and we had Bernal at centre, which could have worked for that final scrum if they'd fed Bernal and hit him up close, through the middle, say. But the scrum got absolutely decimated, so that didn't work. So they've abandoned this 6-2 thing. I think it's right, but it's still Dombrandt there, so he comes on, I guess, at number 8, and then there's a reshuffle. I don't think Bernal comes off at number 8. But the point that you guys keep making in the comments is correct. He hasn't had a big game for England as he nears 20 caps. He needs to have a statement to say, I am a quality player. He plays great for Harlequins, but then Harlequins play very different to how England play. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's the step up to international, but he needs a big game. It hasn't happened yet, and I keep saying he needs a big game, but he needs a big game. It would have been great to have Tom Willis, Tom Pearson coming on as that impact sub. So not too happy, but he's giving people another go. He's giving Harry Randall another go. Again, comments saying maybe he hasn't made the step up to international, but again, Bristol Bears play very differently to England. Both of those guys would benefit from a more attacking team. Harry Randall's one big job was to make that perfect pass to George Ford for the drop goal, which he didn't get right. Anyway, he's got another big chance. And there's a change up at hooker. I don't think that Dan's injured. He may be. Luke Cowan-Dickie coming on. Yeah, fine. He's had good form this season, the best form for a long time, so that's absolutely fine. Maybe it's partly to shore up the scrum because Baxter and Cole go again, and they came on and had a real bad time up against Tuangafasi and Tossi, so hopefully they go better. And Baxter, it's good for his confidence to back up a poor game with a good one, so I do hope it goes well for him. And then George Ford stays as the replacement fly half. I hope they don't just take off Marcus Smith just for the sake of it. If he's playing great, then George Ford can stay on the bench. It's tough, but it's high-level rugby. That's just how it happens sometimes. And then the beneficiary of the 5-3 split is Ollie Slightholme. Great to see him, but would love to see him starting. But again, there's no centre on the bench, which seems like Freeman would go to 13, or will we see Bernal go to 12 maybe? But maybe Freeman goes in and Slightholme goes onto the wing. So that's exciting. Would have loved to have started like that, but he's giving people another go. Apart from a few switches around, this is pretty much I'm sticking with the same guy. So can they come up with a big performance? Well, yes, they can. I'm going to get behind them. It's not the best team I think England can put out, but let's see if they can attack more. That's what I want to see. Can they start moving this ball and start really making offloads and continuity and counterattacks and the sort of stuff that marks out the top teams? England need to do that. Can this team do it? Let me know down below all those comments. Love to know what you think, and I'll catch you next time.